The Alpha AK. You've probably used it. We all know it. I love it. Some could say this is the pinnacle of all AK-type platforms in insurgency. What makes it that way? Is it the fact that the Picatinny system is a superior medium for weapons development? Or is rifle fine? Is the faster fire rate and lower recoil the facet that captures its efficacy? Or is that just frivolous ammo dumping? What secrets lie behind that stamped steel frame, laser-cut aluminum quad rail, and off-green and plum polymer furniture? And perhaps, most poignant, and most near and dear to this channel, what is an Alpha AK? In my gun guide, over a year ago now, I said I didn't know what it was, but everyone else said they did, even if none of them could agree on it. Okay, so basically it's become a tradition at this point for me to go through the comment section once in a while and just enjoy the giant cluster of the sheer quantity of you that thinks they know what this gun is. I don't pretend to, and at this point I am fully confident for a fact that none of you do either. I have congregated an entire folder with subfolders categorizing every single one of you who has stated what this gun is as factually as humanly possible, as if it doesn't completely contradict what the immediate next guy says. You're all stupid. Anyone who commented what this gun is, with the possible exception of this guy, who probably got it at least more right than any of you degenerates, you're all morons. I still don't know what this gun is, in spite of receiving at least a weekly notification of someone explaining it to me. And I can say that none of you know what you're talking about. For every single person who said it's an AK-104, there's at least as many who said AK-103, and the people who argued about it, and the other people who think it's an AK-105, and the people who said it's an AKM, and the people who argued about it, and the people who think it's an AK-15 or AK-12, and the people who argued with them. And then there's these people who think it's one of those unicorn AK-AR hybrids, and beyond those, we have the real social radicals. I'm retarded? Who think it's not even an AK at all or something, I don't care. This is the highest form of entertainment my channel has produced. Forget my top videos, forget all of Gun Guide. This comment section right here is 9 times the entertainment value of my entire channel. It's a goldmine. So if you're watching this and you think you know, please get mad, get greasy. You're such a gun expert. I implore you to go assert your dominance. Show all of these gun enthusiasts how much you, as a gun enthusiast, know more than them. If my withheld comment section review page isn't completely full within 2 days of this video being made, I'm going to be very disappointed in the absolute brainitude of the gun fan base, because I know you guys can make just some magnificent shit. I beg you. Okay, look. I'll even make a poll on what the Alpha AK actually is, and you, the viewer, can go vote. And when you do, be sure to use that comment section to tell everyone how big your is. What is the point of this segment? I just thought I'd let you know that how active this debate is to this day, despite that video being over a year old, and that's evidently you're just not a real gun expert unless you know what this is or something. I don't know. Back to the video. Hi. Yeah, we're 4 minutes into this video, and you're probably finally realizing that I didn't accidentally upload the wrong project file to the title and thumbnail that read 25,000 subs on your recommended page. Why am I talking about the Alpha AK? Literally, infinite possibilities of ways you can open a subscriber special, and we're on about some gun. I counter with, what else do you want me to do? I'm not going to sit here on a tirade talking about how mind-blowing it is to get 25,000 subscribers for the full length of a video, because you'd click away and it'd be boring as hell. Instead, we're going to explore some of the more nuanced features of my channel, some inside jokes many of you may not be aware of. And after all, I'm gonna I don't even have like 8 minutes of shit to cover. Whatever. I'm Six Snipes, and you're watching Subscriber Special. Fuck. I was watching through some of my older videos because it's fun to look at where you came from. And I came across a little gem that was this clip from the MP5 Gun Guide. This series has come a long way, and I'm just shy of 500 subs, which to me is both incredible and a little scary. I'm not planning on slowing down the content anytime soon though, and I just hope that this has been as much of a ride for you guys that it has been for me. And like, holy shit guys, a little over a year ago we had 485 subscribers, and by we I mean me and the smallest imaginable percentage of the community I've built now, and none of you contributed at all, so it really is just me.
I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work.
But when you pause and give these numbers any quantity of consideration, like I do, because I like to, do things that aren't, I don't know, making content, you have to realize that even then, 485 people is a really big number. Sure, that's like the smallest channel possible that can even generously be considered professional. But put all 485 of those people in a room and that's terrifying. Like, even if you were all toddlers and it was a fight to the death between me and 485 of you, it'd be a really close fight at best and that horrific scene from Toy Story at worst. Side note, how many toddlers can an adult person beat in a fight? Like, people say 10 or 20, but like, what are they gonna do? Throw crayons at you and shit themselves? Only so many individuals can occupy any given space at a time, so really you're only fighting like a dozen at most at once, and with any degree of tactical approach, you really could hold off for an incredible amount of time with a choke point and proper strategizing. I mean, is there any data on this? Do we have figures? Was there some sort of historical event, some record of a battle? The people need to know. And regardless of tangential ideas, you begin to see the point I'm making here. If 500 subs is worth a thank you to everyone and the degree of the thanks is proportional to the number of people, what can you expect it to do for a group of people 50 times the size? For this very reason, having no idea what to do or what to say, there have been no 5,000 subscriber special, 10,000 subscriber special, and speaking openly, we're not going to do another until the day I unbox my silver YouTube play button, tell my friends I'm not a failure, and then promptly walk into traffic. But we're not here to talk about that. You're not wondering about what goes on behind the scenes. You're asking questions about things that go on behind the scenes. This is a shit segue. Now, as always being like one other time, every subscriber special features a very special Q&A segment. And by special, I mean some of y'all need to go to school again. I did enjoy reading through a lot of the entries, which were posted under a thread in the community tab of my channel, which is super whelming if you haven't checked it out yet. But I mean, I posted this thread for people to ask questions on, and really, you just missed it. I don't know what to tell you. Now, there's a lot of questions to go through, and I figure I'll open with a couple and progressively move through the ones I like more and more as we go down the list here. Number 1, what's a dream weapon you want added to the game? If it wasn't obvious by the intro, I have a growing distaste with the gun comments. I'm not sure I care about, okay, look, I'm not sure I care about the gun shit anymore. No, this is not actually in spite of what some people think because of the weapons that they're adding. It's because I'm still getting the fucking AK comments. Truthfully, the gun I wanted just got dropped as the FN Hurst LP90, a serious animal of a weapon, even if I do think more and more that it's seriously out of place with the advisors, though if I had to pick now that we have that, I just want a simple RPK with that 40 round default mag and a 75 round drum to make a competitive gunner pick. Or else the companion sidearms of the P90 being the FN 5.7 for its capacity and the 5.7 cartridge. I mean, that's like the greatest pistol caliber ever, and 45 ACP fans can take a hike. The quantity of people asking me, how are you? And this one who creatively added, what are you looking forward to? I'm not gonna cap, I pretty much feel like this cow right now. I'm looking forward to passing Gibbs and subscribers after wrapping up this special. Oh wait, somebody asked me if I would rather have a 7th and 8th weapon added to the gunner class as opposed to a 15th and 16th weapon added to rifleman. What the hell do you think? Someone asked me if I think the studio should prioritize console over the PC release for Insurgency due to shortcomings with bugs and features before doing exactly one Google and realizing it's not even the same studio who ports it to console to begin with. Someone asked me where I see myself in 5 years, as if I really wanted to hear that question I couldn't just talk to my dad. Weightlifting? I will send you a full body naked ass before and after body transformation pic if you can tell me why the f you killed JFK. Face? No. Favorite cereal? Wheat checks. I'm a little late to this, so am I, but do you have any games outside of what you've shown us? No, I don't own any other games. I've never played another game before in my life. That I like to show you, I don't know. Getting to play what you want, when you want, without the obligation to record and to make content for it is how games are meant to be played. That is not how I play most of my games these days, because when I tried doing it, people just loved it so much that I couldn't keep it up. If I really enjoy a game anymore, I can assure you, you won't see it. Either because it's not the same speed as what my channel plays, that being PvP shooters, exceptions like Doom, not Doom Eternal, Doom 2016, which I adore wholeheartedly and love to pieces, but there's no way I can make videos about it that would really just do much because it's a campaign game and everything that can be said about it and done in it that I myself can accomplish with my skill set has already been done. The same goes for Fallout 4, the same goes for Hitman, and the same especially goes for Balloons Tower Defense 3. I mean, what? Favorite non-shooter, Minecraft. I see that some people are asking whether I'll bring back the Splitgate videos because I only made one. I don't really play with any of the people I made it with anymore, and while I can occasionally clean up in that game, it seems that the user base has become so adapted to its meta in my absence that now that it's not a new title, it's just very hard to do well for a video without a significant investment of time off screen. So likely no, but that's not the last time you'll see that format of funny moments, because it's just so original and innovative that I just feel like the platform really needs more videos like that, guys. What's your history with tactical shooters? Tactical shooters started with a game called Rainbow Six Siege. You might have heard of it, but believe me, when I was in high school and we were in Operation Velvet Shell, nobody cool played Siege in my school. So it was just me and my friends shooting the shit in Terrorist Hunt, trying not to get our shit pushed in by the suicide bomber, or cleaning up in casual, trolling people. I miss old Siege, and I can never play it what it is today simply because all the features it had that I loved are either gone, redundant, or buried under a pile of rubbish, which obstructs the original vision of what it originally was. And I remember what it originally was. I always wanted to make a video about that, in fact, and that was something I teased at one point, but I really think I'd just get mobbed by all the fans today in the comments, so probably not. But looking for a new tactical game, I found Battlefield 4 in its hardcore mode, and eventually, finally, Insurgency. And in a very abridged manner, the rest can be obtusely considered history. Along a similar vein, what happened to the Tarkov vid? This was also a tease alongside the R6 video, and I put it to a vote actually, and once again my community tab, and this one won by landslide. However, I didn't do either, so get fucking wrecked. Oh baby, what happened to the Tarkov video might merit an entire video in and of itself. The trip I had playing Tarkov was a very arduous and hard fought one, and at the end of the day, there is no passion making that video right now, unlikely ever. You started the series with your top 5 favorite guns. Has your top 5 favorite guns changed since? Good question, but phrased or researched incorrectly. The original series was my top 5 most used guns. This was a feature you could view under statistics until it became the victim of features we liked and were useful or at least interesting that got removed for no discernible fucking reason. Good job, New World. And I can't really tell you anymore what my top 5 most used guns are because that list is no longer accessible under your stats. But that was actually going to be a thing. I was going to make the final season of Gun Guide the current 5 most used guns I have in a Gun Guide Redux sort of deal. That was actually the SFX for the opening I had worked out. I can't do it anymore. I can tell you immediately after Season 1 Operation Breakaway happened, and we got the AUG, and for a fact, I can tell you that that was within the top 5 for a while. Now, I can guarantee the MP7 is nowhere to be seen in my top 5. I'm much more privy to utilizing the MP5 instead for better penetration, accuracy, and not having to pay 4 credits to have more than 20 rounds. I also barely ever use the M16 anymore. It's the G36 or the M4, really, that's just how it is. I think my most used gun now is easily the Mark 18 CQBR still. I just use even more. It's just so good, and I think I probably defer to the Alpha now more than I do the AKS. Wait, don't mention that one. What is a gun or attachment you hope never gets added? I really hate it, and this is just a pet peeve of mine. It's kind of crazy, and some people think I'm stupid for thinking this, but I really hate it when people, it just bugs me when people, devs, add the Desert Eagle to tactical realism shooters. Oh, fuck. I'm not really sure what this guy is asking. I think you could have just said what weapon out of every class do I use most or whatever, but in earnest, if you're looking for a weapon that I literally always use, my secondary is always the SIG 226 or if unavailable, the terrorist equivalent Beretta M9. I really like the precision and capacity of the Wonder 9s in this game, and ultimately these let you secure more kills per mag than any other secondary that's cost effective, with exception to the Wellrod, which is better and free, but I gotta crutch myself somehow. Why do you only play Domination? I get this question a lot in comments outside of this. Most of it is phrased less politely than this, but first of all, that's not true. I played Ambush and a lot of PvE modes for footage recently. I also prefer Firefight over Domination, but Dom gets servers easier. The real reason Domination makes its way into a lot of my footage, hence why a lot of people think I only play Domination, is because when you're in a crunch to get as much footage with as many kills with any given weapon as possible, it helps not be able to die out of spawn and sit in the waiting screen for 3 fucking minutes. In honesty, just having the credits to use all the attachments I want on a gun, including a suppressor, which isn't in other modes, and drum mags that aren't in other modes, and not having to really worry about the objective or the out of bounds, which are in other modes, and ultimately just getting more footage that I need faster per round. Or because I'm bad or something, whatever. I have 32,000 subs right now, cry about it. Why are you so funny? That's a good question. Here's my counter. It could be a whole video explaining that if you knew me in real life, you would never think of me the way you do here, because in reality, when I'm too nervous or too shy to say something around actual people because I care about appearances too much and know what it's like to bomb jokes and embarrass myself, especially in front of women, I won't say a word. But I can't see the faces of the people watching this video no matter how many of you there are. And for me, there's no awkward pause when I talk or weird faces I make unless I put it there, and I can re-record everything until I nail the landing just right on a script that I've looked over at least 3 times before publication. So when I put it that way, don't you think given the same process, people would think you're funnier too? Why does it always sound like you are having a cold and a sore throat at the same time? Okay, fuck you. Do you have a resource that you pull your memes and cuts from? Yep, it used to be that I'd use my knowledge of memes to Google them and rip them off YouTube and just drop them directly into the Premiere project. However, eventually, to save time, I just realized I had to make a centralized folder and have a formally ordinate quantity of memes and movie scenes just there as either MP4s or .wav sound bites. If you're gonna make a channel that uses clips, that shit is a must. As a smaller content creator, okay, ouch. How do you stay motivated to make videos? Yeah, I don't. Are you getting burnt out of Insurgency? No, never. How long do you think you'll be playing Insurgency? Sandstorm, and what are the future plans for the channel? Will you be posting a mix of Insurgency and something else? Look, I don't know about playing, but videos will happen until I finish covering all the guns we have now. And we'll see if they add anything else worthwhile, but after that, and at least exactly one more video that me and only me, and whoever else watched this video all the way through and listened to carefully know about, and that MGE Gibbs stole the week after, f*** you Gibbs, your ass is mine later, know about. What are your tastes in anime and TV shows? Okay, first of all, anime is gay, get that shit out of here. Secondly, it's actually very hard for me to sit down and watch a television program all the way through, and then do so another 10 or so times until I'm done with the season, and then do that another like 5 times because there's a ton of seasons, and it's just no. Especially because every show that is constructed to be massively popular and the thing ends up ending in what is largely considered shit. First, everyone was watching The Walking Dead and nobody liked it after the 3rd season. Then it was Game of Thrones and nobody liked the final season. The only possible exception is Breaking Bad. And I still hear bad things about how it ended, even though at this point I'm probably gonna break and watch that one. Ultimately, I'm not gonna watch fucking the same episode of The Big Bang Theory. How many episodes are in The Big Bang Theory? Holy fuck, they have that many episodes. Shows I do like and have watched front to back are J.J. Abrams' Fringe, which is highly underrated, basically about a fringe science division of the FBI given license to investigate scientific anomaly in the appearance of a host of individuals who in the most benign phrasing possible simply do not belong here. HBO's Chernobyl, which is the very accurate miniseries reenactment of what actually occurred during the fateful nuclear disaster in Ukraine, and of course, Paw Patrol. This person had basically the same question for music, and yeah, that's as much of, if not a larger can of worms to open with me. I do have a very wide collection of music which I like. I had that phase where, oh man, I was born in the wrong generation, because what 14-year-old commenters don't understand is that every single song from the pre-2000s period was not actually Seven Nation Army and Bohemian Rhapsody. And as a result, I have a lot of appreciation for old bands. I like David Bowie as a singer, an actor, and in person, an absolute savage.
And how about the shoes? Are those men's shoes or women's shoes or bisexual shoes? They're shoes, silly.
I like Led Zeppelin because when you have one of the most famous people known for playing the instrument literally every dude in a band wants to be playing, the greatest drummer of all time, period, and when your least celebrated member knows how to play a mind-shitting 28 different instruments, you probably are going to make a couple of good tracks. I miss Daft Punk. I love Random Access Memories. Knowing that I'll never see a Daft Punk concert is the leading cause of my male depression. As for more recent work, I've just found Glass Animals. If you haven't listened to Glass Animals yet and you haven't heard Heat Waves, get on that shit. But moreover, I actually like Tangerine and Helium better, but every time I try something from their older albums, it just doesn't really sound the same to me, but I don't know. We'll see where they go, and look up Glass Animals. They're really good. Almost anything from The Killers, and I know you pick any of their albums, and it's not going to sound even remotely like their other albums. Like, none of these are even remotely the same thing. I like Mr. Brightside and their more recent stuff. I like Human, is great too, but I adore above all else everything I've heard from Pressure Machine. Sleepwalker and In Another Life are just another level to me. Finally, literally anything I've ever heard from John Resnick. Man wrote the song that held the record for the most consecutive weeks on top of the charts for 20 years until The Weeknd came in with Blinding Lights in 2020. That song was Iris, by the way, probably obviously. You've heard Iris even if you don't know what I'm talking about. I also adore Come To Me, but above all else, his work on the feature animated film Treasure Planet goes hard as fuck. If you haven't watched that movie, moreover, if you haven't heard I'm Still Here, we are not friends. End of story, unsubscribe. What's your favorite jet if you have one? And now, Jet Guide. The SR-71 Blackbird and the A-10 Warthog compete for my favorite spot for their fascinating engineering and striking aesthetics. A fun fact for each. Everyone talks about how the SR-71 Blackbird, produced by Lockheed Martin's highly secretive Skunk Works program, is the fastest plane around and holds the distinguished honor of being the only aircraft deployed in the United States to never have been shot down. A combination of flying so high and going so fast, nothing could ever catch it. The reality is much more complicated, as missiles even then were still capable of intercepting objects moving faster than themselves simply by firing and approaching the path of the craft rather than the wake. The real reason no missile ever struck the Blackbird is a combination of the most advanced jamming systems at the time that, once locked onto the missile, effectively denied it from receiving any data on the plane's trajectory, and the fact that the signature black coat you see it decked out in is laced with flake elements of black iron, which they knew to radically obscure radar signatures to the point where the plane was so hard to track, the closest any ordnance came to the aircraft was 1.5 miles away. The coat of paint and sheer velocity of the craft combined brought the airframe anywhere between 400 and 1000 degrees Fahrenheit depending on their position relative to the engines. So hot, in fact, that the plane stretches 4 to 5 inches once it reaches proper speed and altitude, which is accommodated by its signature expansion gaps. A bonus fact, earlier models of the plane would actually leak its viscous fluid from certain systems onto the tarmac where it was grounded simply because the craft needed to stretch to maintain a seal to the system, and consequently, they never kept these crafts fueled. And now one for the A-10. Everybody, and I mean everybody, talks about how cool the GAU-8 Avenger cannon is, and yeah, how devastating it is and the noise it makes and all that good overplayed meme shit. That's neat, but the real reason the A-10 Warthog is the greatest closed air support implement of all time is its superior design to the airframe. The very identifiable vertical tail stabilizers are positioned strategically so that it obstructs the engine exhaust from sight when viewed from the side, preventing thermal lock from systems such as the Stinger, which was predominantly used by several armies and insurgency groups during its heyday, unless they are directly in front of or behind the craft. As well as the fact that it could lose one stabilizer, one engine, and one half of any wing and continue to fly home with little impedance to its functions, which it did. A lot. Home where any number of replacements are available far easier than average because all of those parts I just listed are also capable of being reversed onto either side of the plane to solve logistical supply chain issues with having to ship replacement parts for both halves. Unlike the SR-71, the A-10 can be shot, the problem being it simply doesn't care. Rant over. Questions over. If this video can get to 10,000 likes, I will answer more of your questions, and who knows, you may actually learn something genuinely interesting about me, as opposed to having the engineered anti-ordnance qualities of both close air support craft and spycraft broken down for you when all you wanted was funny memes and or my social security number. Next segment. With all these questions, it really has me thinking. One of the most inquired upon subjects in a typical comments section for me is what a full match looks like. How do I play? Is it any different when I'm not filming? What are my favorite spots on maps? Typically when recording, I have my microphone disabled, so you can't actually hear how I'm coordinating with my team, and what is said often goes unpublished in the final product. Today, I have a real treat for you. Recording an entire match and using the highlights to illustrate to you just what is actually going on when I'm playing my average game, and what it's really like to play with me in any given mode. Please enjoy your average Six Snipes experience, and hopefully you really can glean some good strategies and techniques from the way I break it down to my team and ultimately secure the W. My name Dick Knight. My name Dick Knight. My name Jeff. My name Dick Knight. My name Dick Knight. You better stop! My name is Dick Knight. 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 My name is... Oh my God. My name is Dick Knight.
Yes, the floor.
My name is Dick Knight. Hold on, I'm out of ammo. Do not come. Holy shit, stop shooting at me. Dude, bro, stop. Oh shit, ah.
You fellow.
I'm so fast.
What? I can't see shit. Why did you do that?
I'm gonna queef on my own balls.
Mike, you here?
My name is Dina.
Sit down, kid.
You sit the down. Eat shit. Easy cab.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
How did you f***ing f that up? I was blind as shit.
Be gone, son! You're garbage, you're trash. You're garbage, you're trash.
Spicy name. Eat shit. Fuck you. As I wrap up this very special subscriber video, I hope you've seen it all. From an intellectual look at what makes the gun community really tick, some history about the channel, the finer points of combat aerospace engineering, and of course, an immaculately calculated breakdown of how I play on a level that can only be described as completely different than that of what you are playing on, or even remotely expected. But as I wrap up this very special subscriber video, which coincides in the 2-year anniversary of that MP5 gun guide I mentioned so long ago, though it felt like yesterday. 2 years since I hit 500 subscribers, now well over 50 times that, and well on my way to 50,000 because I'm just so good at making these on time. I can tell you factually, having seen and done the work I've been up to in the past 2 months since I last updated, that things are about to change for my time on YouTube. For too long has bad practice and rampant injustice plagued this platform, and I'm here to stand up and make a difference. And you can help. Every day, content creators around the world, such as me, just me, suffers from broke bitch syndrome. Together, we can stop this. That's right, baby, channel rolls are here. For the low price of pissing away 99 cents a month, you too can become one of the Snipe Squad. That's a very uncreative name, but shit, I mean, what did you want from me? Exclusive access to content nobody else can see. Private Discord server for you and the boys to be very smart gun people. Democracy. You too can vote for future content that I'm gonna fucking ignore so bad. I'm not gonna listen to you at all. $5 subscription tier. What's that? I call it the Snipes Advice Donor Program, or SAD for short. For the low price of shitting $4.99 straight into the gutter every month, you can submit entries into the Snipes Advice hotline. I will ruin your life. I will ruin your life. Don't follow my advice, but I'll give it to you for $5. I will read the stories you give me. I will either reply to them personally or I will put them in videos with the return of the color commentary series. All membership tiers get this series of badges. Level up your badge by continuing to be a member every month. And lastly, but certainly not least, the custom emoji available in my comment sections and stream chat, the golden well rod. Get hyped, get crazy. But okay, but like if I didn't know any better, I'd say this is like a mobile game ad. Fuck it, I'm broke. All jokes aside, I want to make videos for you, the person watching this, the people commenting on this, and maybe the 3 people who get the tier where they send in shit and I'm going to be giving advice to. More information on that in the week to come, but it's all I want to do. It's not going to be uncertainty forever with this channel, I'll tell you that. But it's always going to be me, 6 Snipes, until the inevitable part where I accidentally get fished by crypto farmers who keep spamming me rootkits so they can hijack my channel and peddle shit coin, but whatever, that's not the point. But until then, I've been 6 Snipes. You are now 32,000 strong, and you have been watching Subscriber Special. And I do have one last thing to tell you all. Thank you. Okay, bye, I'll upload sometimes next February, see you then.
I like ass, apparently. Like, it might taste like ass, but ooh, hits that spot, you know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Seems kinda gay to me.